We're gonna get started in a second here. So thank you all for being here. We're gonna have a lot of fun today. So I'm gonna go ahead and mute everybody by myself and our first performer and Richard as well. Richard, you wanna join the conversation for a quick second here?
Yeah. What's up, Richard? Armand and I are doing this thing. We're trying to do this thing where we get as many of our talented actors together and just do a little monologue slam together. No pressure, just going for it. Just want to see each other's faces. We've obviously wanting to be performing more often. So here's a little something. We tried to wrangle the best performers that we could in our network. So here we go.
Yeah, and we're accepting submissions every month because we are doing this once a month. We did this our first time in February, so it's been a full month since we did our first one. We plan to do this for the next year. We'll see what happens. We want to do it live at some point, of course, when things open up. But for the meantime, Zoom is fun. But yeah, so we are accepting submissions for these things in the near future as well. It's a small community, and we hope to grow it as well. But we like it. It was intimate today, which is actually, I think a lot of us favor that. So we do have a great performance today. Up first, we have Natasha Elias. Hopefully I said it right. Natasha Elias, everybody.
I'll go ahead and drop a link. There you go. Okay. Thank you. So I broke up with my 3-year live-in boyfriend while his mother, who ate sardines and left them open in the kitchen sink for everyone to enjoy, was sleeping on our couch. And then I moved to Glendale, this quaint little neighborhood, which I used to talk shit about incessantly because I'm an asshole until I'm a fan. Here's an excerpt from my first journal entry in my new apartment. I just broke up with my boyfriend and moved into a new apartment alone during a global pandemic. My dad is dead, my mom is incessantly codependent, and my agent said I looked fat in a recent audition. I've never wanted to be in Canada more. It's so frustrating to be dreaming of Chris Evans all the time and not get him. So I've decided that since I feel fat, I'm just gonna go outside and wear less clothes because I don't give a flying arrow anymore. And neither should you. I mean, are you tired of this like robotic version of perfection? Self-worth, right? It's like this concept and it's like never ending. It's this quest for peace and calming the fuck down. It's loving yourself, accepting yourself, maxing out your credit card to YouTube suggested makeup lines that later make your skin break out. It's all part of the journey, I don't know. I think I'm finally figuring out that that I'm starting to become this character that I was writing. And the funny part is that I like thought that I already was her, but like the new iOS version of her, So I wrote her all fucked up and lost. And then I stood away from my laptop pedestal and then threw her into the lion's den for the sake of character development. And I had no clue that I was the lost one and I was the one with horrible taste in men and that I was the imposter herself that was looking at everybody's shortcomings except for my own. Because, that's what we do in life. I don't know, the lead character of my story was realizing that letting go of the main two men in her life, her father who passed away and then her ex-boyfriend who's next, removes herself from the root of her grounding and places the character in this state of shock. And the thing is like, I don't think that men think about this as much as women do because like you guys don't have this like innate sort of like physical need of survival as like part of your biology. Like you don't need another person there to like, take care of you. And I swear to you that ever since I turned, I'm actually not going to tell you my age. Ever since I turned blah, 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 I've been getting solicited by older men who are deeply worried about my future because I don't have a husband. So recently I was sitting on a plane next to this guy, this man, and he said, you're just not the kind of woman who needs a man because you are independent, you have a career, you know, and you have a career that most likely will lead to you fake fornicating with other men. So like, you know, you're just not this like damsel in distress that I'm looking for. Because, you know, men like to feel needed. It's like society treats getting a husband like getting a burqa. But burqas, they don't try to ask you to do butt stuff, you know? And listen, look, don't worry. Like, I have nothing against butt stuff. In fact, actually, I am 100% for, you know, connecting to your divine feminine energy. And that's exactly why I'm just taking my time to think about exactly what kind of butt stuff I'm willing to do to make men feel needed. Do I sound bitter? Maybe. Resentful? Probably. If you saw me at Trader Joe's, you'd probably be like, she's the jolliest bitch I've ever seen. But you don't know that I have a fucking cynical demon inside of me. And she is dry and she is overly excited about warm oat milk. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much, Natasha. Up next, we have David Nichols Jr.
Nobody can disappear. The old man tried that. Look where it got him. He lost his teeth. And I don't mean money. I mean his teeth, his real teeth. First he lost his real teeth, then he lost his false teeth. You never knew that, did you? He never confided in you. He lost his real teeth one at a time. Woke up every morning with another tooth lying on the mattress. Finally, he decides he's got to get them all pulled. But he doesn't have any money. Middle of Arizona, no money, no insurance. Every morning, another tooth is lying on the mattress. So, what does he do? He begs the government. GI Bill or some damn thing. Some pension plan he remembers in the back of his head. And they send him out the money. They send him out the money. But it's not enough money. Costs a lot to have all your teeth yanked. I mean, they charge by the individual tooth, you know. I mean, not all teeth are equal in price to the other tooth. Like some are more expensive, like the big ones all the way in the back. So he locates a Mexican dentist in Juarez who'll do the whole thing for a song and takes off hitchhiking to the border. How long do you think it takes him to get to the border? A man at his age. 8 days it takes him. 8 days in the rain and the sun, and every day another tooth is lying on the blacktop, and nobody will pick him up because his mouth's full of blood. So finally, he stumbles into the dentist. The dentist takes all his money and all his teeth. And there he is, alone in Mexico with his gums sewed up and his pockets empty. Then I go out to see him. See, I go out there and I take him out for a nice Chinese dinner. But he doesn't eat. All he wants to do is drink martinis out of plastic cups. Takes out his teeth, lays them on the table because he says he can't stand the feel of them. So we ask the waitress for a doggy bag. He takes his teeth and puts them in the doggy bag along with the chop suey. Then we hit all the bars up and down the highway. Says he wants to introduce me to all his buddies. And in one of those bars, up and down the highway, he left that doggy bag with his teeth lying in the chop suey. And we went back, but we never did find it. Now that's a true story. True to life.
Thank you so much. That was David Nichols Jr. Up next, we have Yolanda Ross.
A child can't help what God gave to him. But you're going to force people to start talking. Now, my son came to your school because they were going to kill him in the public school system. His father don't like him. He come to your school and the kids don't like him. One man, this priest, is good to him. And does a man have his reasons? Yes, he does. Everybody does. Because you have your reasons too. But do I ask why he's good to my son? No, because I don't care. My son needs one man, one person that's good to him. Someone to show him in the way he should go. And thank God that this educated man with so much love in his heart wants to do just that. And I'm gonna let it.
Thank you so much, Yolanda. That was Yolanda Ross, everybody. Up next, we have Hafsa Moritz.
Can you tell me why you are scuffing your bras and skipping breakfast? I understand. You think, oh, that's what all the boys like, skinny girls with big tits, and all the popular girls are doing it. But what you do with your body, it's actually your choice, and your choice only. And I want you to understand the reasons behind your choices. Because what you are doing with your body, it's actually very unhealthy. And I get you. You think, oh, nothing feels as good as skinny taste. But your beauty doesn't, your weight doesn't define your beauty, and it doesn't measure who you are. And second of all, you think the reason you think skinniness and big boobs is desirable may not be because you want to attract men, but because of what you think and what you see in as a society is so entirely informed by racism and sexism, fat phobia, and male desire. So even though you say you make it because you want to, you do it because you consume the media and television and movies. But I get you. You're not so wrong. I'm so, you're really not so wrong. I've been there where you've been. And you're right. You're going to be chosen by a man if you act out your femininity. But it's not the way you want to be chosen. I know you want to be chosen for other reasons. You want to be chosen for your entire self. But I tell you, it's a bottomless pit. It won't take you anywhere.
Thank you so much, Hafsa. Up next, we have Richard.
So I went to a new acupuncturist. My old acupuncturist went off the deep end. He became convinced that he had magical powers, started wearing a robe and a strange hat. I figured I just wouldn't get acupuncture anymore. But then I got this stomach ache and wicked gas. So, I went on the internet and I found a replacement, right? Her name was Ying. She was Chinese. Tall, serious, but not too serious. And she kind of dressed like a doctor in the white jacket. Now, I judge all medical people by their waiting rooms, and Ying had a nice one. I mean, she had the plants, a water cooler, charts in Chinese. The chairs were comfortable. They didn't match. It was homey. I mean, it was homey. So, I get on the table. She's checking my pulses, checks my tongue. She seemed pretty much like every other acupuncturist I'd gone to. And then she's pressing around different spots, asking if they hurt, ask my symptoms, my diet. And as she's pressing on the spots, she's, does this hurt? Does this hurt? Yeah, it fucking hurts. So, and I guess because I told her about my stomach cramps, she starts digging in a few spots around my navel. This hurt like fucking hell. Like, holy crap, I'm dying. And she's like doing this thing, I don't know what, going crazy. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like practically dying. So she keeps going, she's doing her thing. Finally, she's done inflicting pain on me. And she said she wanted to do cupping. I said, okay. I'd been cupped before. They take these little sucking gizmos, about 8 of them, set them sucking on your back for around 10 minutes, pop them off, and then they read the circular hickeys, thus created for information. So, the new wrinkle, though, that Ying introduced me to was that after she did my back, she wanted me to turn over and she did my front. So the end result was I was just completely covered in polka dots. She told me to come back in 2 days. Now, I came back a few days later. She starts quizzing me about my previous acupuncturist. She's like, "How did he give you Chinese medicine?" Yes. That he started acting strangely. Yes. I said how he started becoming a shaman and his new age clothes and shit. So she starts digging in my stomach again. And so I close my eyes and the pain is so intense. I mean, like, I started having visions. I'm seeing like a dinosaur struggling in a tar pit, Norwegians and volcanoes. And at first I didn't realize I'm describing this stuff, like saying this stuff out loud, but Ying is like asking me and what I'm seeing, and I'm kind of narrating. And all of a sudden my eyes pop open from like an insane sudden pain. Like, I look down, Ying's got her hand halfway inside my navel, literally rummaging around in my abdomen. I'm trying to say something, but what comes out doesn't sound completely human. And while I watched, she pulls this filthy, wriggling black fish out of me. It stank, it had teeth, and she throws it on the floor, fucking picks up a metal wastebasket, starts beating the fish to death. And I'm like, all of a sudden, feeling much better. So I said so. And she kind of just nods wearily, wiping black splatter off her arms and shit. hands me a towel, and she says, "You shouldn't see your old acupuncturist anymore. That he was a bad man." And that's when I decided that maybe I wouldn't go to acupuncturists anymore. So yeah.
There you have it, Richard Eek. Thank you so much, Richard. Everyone, that was our performers today. Round of applause to everyone who performed here today. That was a lot of fun. So we actually are missing half of our lineup, but it's okay. We had who we had. And so we appreciate all of you for being here and taking your time out to perform your monologues. That was a lot of fun. How's everybody feel?
Pretty good.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Also, without further ado, we did this last time. So we told all the performers here that they're just having fun and connecting with other performers and performing these monologues. But today we also had a very special guest in the audience who was kind of watching from behind the screen. We all watch behind the screen, but she was watching your performances without and staying under the radar here. But we do have a special guest here. She goes by the name Jessica Sherman. She is a casting director. So for those who've seen shows like Bates Motel, you've seen her work. So Jessica Sherman, everybody.
Yay.
Hi.
What's up, Jessica?
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How's everyone doing?
Great, great.
Good. Great work today. I know it was so fun to watch. Thank you for coming and doing this thing. This is awesome.
Thanks for joining.
She just wanted to pop in and say hi. But like we said, we like to do this every month, and we like to have a special guest watching in the audience. So today we had Jessica. Thank you so much for your time, Jessica. I know you're super busy and a little bit under the weather, I think, right? So we appreciate you just being here.
Yeah,
Thank you. I
Jessica.
appreciate it.
Thanks for hanging out on a Saturday. Thank you so much.
And
My
Jessica,
pleasure.
and Jessica will also be one of my guest speakers for an upcoming event for Inner City Arts. So for those who have been in our events the last few months, we've done a lot of charity events, and which includes Inner City Arts LA. So we have Jessica.